It's Wednesday, January 2nd, Thursday, January 3rd, if you're on the East Coast or across the pond. And this, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. Hope you had a great day and night. I am your host, Dave Scott, broadcasting to you live from the Great White North, on top of the mountains of central British Columbia, right here at SOR headquarters. We welcome you nightly on the SOR Radio Network and Deep Talk Radio. Remember, if you want to subscribe to our archives, they are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me a favor, hit that little red subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you. You can rock out to Bumblefoot, soon shop at our brand new store, read up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire, and much more. Tonight's show is brought to you by the YouTube channel Ensuho. Sebastian Martin brings high-quality messages to the masses. Head to our website, click on the Ensuho banner, and subscribe today. Tonight we have Mike Brown, an independent UFO researcher out of Michigan, who has 3 books on Amazon looking into the cloaking of these craft that people are seeing in our sky. What are they? Where do they come from? And more importantly, what kind of technology are they using that allows them to appear and disappear like the flick of a light switch? Intriguing questions need answers, and if these craft are using a technology reminiscent to our own stealth capabilities, what do they know that we don't? We'll find out in a little second here from Mike. Then at the bottom of hour number 3, we have Olaf Phillips from Paranoia Magazine coming in for the SOR Newswire. Mike Brown, welcome to Spaced Out Radio for the first time. How are you?
Thank you, Dave. How are you?
I am great, and it's good to have you on here and to get your independent research going on here. What made you get into the field of ufology?
Well, it's been a lifelong deal. I saw a UFO way early in the 90s, and that was reported to Peter Davenport's site. But this last UFO in 2014, this is really the UFO that I think a lot of people need to hear about.
Okay, tell us about that UFO sighting. Give us a picture.
All right. I have the UFO on high-definition video, and the UFO is measured by CIA supercomputers with a lot of good data. And the UFO has aliens, and you can see right down to the glint in their eyes. I also have the stealth copyrights to over 5+ stealth aircraft. FBI wanted that story formatted, and it now is.
Okay,
I will also include here the Phoenix Lights copyright that I own. And I am in contact regularly with Dr. Lynn Katai of Phoenix Lights fame. I knew Canada would take my UFO ebook for a radio show before the USA would. I knew that months ago, before I began booking for your show. All right. My ebook is called Mock UFO. You can get the ebook at Amazon Kindle by Michael Gerard Brown. But let's get down to the real beans. Now, on August 6th, 2014, at about 10 at night, in Grand Rapids, Michigan, I saw in the west a light in the sky on the horizon.
Okay.
It looked like a star, or the planet Venus, or a jet, or a helicopter. As it drew closer, I went and got my cell phone. As it traveled over, it was silent. It had a brown laser beam going down. I captured 24 seconds of high-def video, and there are aliens on it looking at me. I call them Anunnaki, which means those who from the stars came.
Right.
The Anunnaki were in Sumeria, which is in present-day Iraq. The Sumerian civilization started about 4,000 years after Göbekli Tepe. Then others, Roman, then ours. The Anunnaki needed gold to shield against their star called Nemesis or Wormwood. The Anunnaki's home planet is called Nibiru, Planet X, 12th planet. The Anunnaki needed gold miners, and the Sumerians said, give us technology and we will get your gold. So the Anunnaki gave them the plow, irrigation, the monetary system, contracts, a written language, and cuneiform writing done on clay tablets with impressions made on clay tablets to make a written language. And in the Sumerian stories, Enki, the good Anunnaki, was in charge of the Tablet of Destinies. One tablet, second in importance to the 10 Commandments tablets. Whoever possesses the Tablet of Destinies is given invincibility, power, knowledge, longevity, the ability to build UFOs, etc. The tablet must be held prominently, chest high. Enki held the tablet. Then the tablet was stolen and was then in possession by his evil brother Enlil. Enlil could not stand humans. The humans chattered and kept him awake. Enki wanted the tablet back and sent Anzu, the giant bird, otherwise known as Imdagud, to retrieve the Tablet of Destinies from Enlil. Enlil was up in a lair, a cave, on a mountain. And the story goes, Anzu, the bird, grabbed the tablet and was shot at by arrows, and the tablet fell to Marduk. Marduk is the son of Enki, the good alien. And Enki is all right with Marduk now having the Tablet of Destinies. Greek mythology has Anzu being slain by the arrows, and the tablet falls to Marduk. The cuneiform clay tablet writings of Sumeria tell the story of the bird escaping the arrows, and the tablet falls still to Marduk. In Mock UFO, the ebook, you will see the UFO, which is needed for the aliens. They can't get here on their roller skates. This is Earth, so they are returning to the scene of the crime. This is on high-def video, Facebook says. This is on high-definition video, something people prefer. The alien seems to be holding a tablet, and on that are 40-plus details. Interesting to note, cuneiform is the Anunnaki's mode of conveying So the tablet in mock UFO is the continuation of that method. Cuneiform was their way.
Okay.
So a tablet is held prominently and chest high, as it is said to be. I have video, and video is important to prove things.
That it
The
is.
video contains the UFO, and a UFO is needed. There is supposed to be a return. So here they are. Another alien is possibly visible by Marduk. This can be his father Enki, the good alien towards man. Earth is where the Anunnaki traveled to, and Earth is where I have the video. The alien Marduk looks human-like, not like a green or a gray alien or a reptilian. The alien is 12 foot tall, and so a giant. As mentioned in the history of Samaria in the teachings, there is a bird, an eagle-like bird. So it is Anzu, and the giant bird rests at the alien's feet. The alien holds one tablet, so it is the tablet of destinies. There is a giant bird, an eagle, at the foot of the alien, like a loyal dog, and that may well be Anzu the bird. So the alien may well be Marduk, and Enki may well be approaching in the background.
All right.
In the ebook.
One sec, Mike. I'm going to hit the rewind here for a couple of seconds, because going back to the original question, you said you saw a UFO back in the 90s that really changed your life. What was that like?
That was seen around the time of the Belgian UFO outbreak. That was all about a mile south of this one in 2014. I was with about 8 people, and they all had their back to it. I saw it fly over, and they all knew. And they approached me all at once and said, "Hey, Mike saw something." "Yeah, hey, Mike. Yeah, what'd you see?" I said, "I saw a UFO." And half of them go, "Yeah, right." Turn away. And the others, they said, "Well, what was it?" It was a triangle. And it was flipping around like the propellers on a helicopter, but it had great lucidity, and it went right into a ring of a cloud. Now, that's all documented in the Peter Davenport National UFO Reporting Center around 1995 when I made that. But
what did Peter have to say about that?
He didn't say anything. That was just a report I sent in, among a myriad of other reports. But this UFO now has aliens. That one there doesn't even have video.
Okay, so it was 2014 when you caught the video of another UFO.
That's right.
So what did that
The
one
one in mock UFO. That one looked like a star on the horizon. And it's almost a camouflage. It looked like a helicopter. At first I thought, well, it could be a jet. It was really low. And then I thought, well, it's taken a long time. Maybe it's a helicopter. And I worried if it was going to be a firework, because this is only a month after 4th of July. But this UFO is measured by CIA supercomputers and is double-checked with data that matches from a trigonometry scientist for empirical data, which basically means we don't have to get a third opinion. It's going to turn out the same.
Okay, so when you were viewing this second one, and you went into a nice diatribe there on what you had seen, was that what you were seeing in the video, or were you seeing that with your own eyes? Because a lot of times what happens is we have things that we see with our eyes, but we miss a lot that the video doesn't.
Yeah, it did not show up on my phone screen at the time of recording. But nonetheless, it was there. And it was so bright, it was repulsive to even look at. It hurt my eyes to look at it. But it did record because I was able to line up with a mercury light as it was flying over. And I was moving the camera around, so I was sure to get something. There is a jet in the background, and MUFON can see that in their grid page to me in Mock UFO. They can clearly see the jet. The two look like they were going to collide. So, yes, the UFO was visible by eye. It did not show up on the flat part of the phone screen. Just the blink of the FAA lights on the jet showed up.
So how do you know it wasn't a jet?
Well, it was silent. And the CIA has all kinds of super data on it. They did not come up with it being a jet. They have actual characteristics, such as it is refracting, which means it's changing direction while it moves through air, water, or glass. The jet is clearly visible. There's black box data, radar data. I explain that in my story tonight in full.
Okay, so when you, all of a sudden, you came out pretty hard talking about the CIA wanting this video. What happened there? How did they contact you, or did you contact them?
Well, I was in Florida, and I knew this girl, and she had her friend over who was Air Force captain retired. And I showed him this UFO on video about 5 months after it went over. And he looked at it and said, "That's a UFO." And he walked away, and he came right back and said, "That's a UFO." And he went on to say it segmented the beam and it's curving. And he said, "Can I take this into my friend at CIA?" I said, "Sure." 2 weeks later, he returned with all the data. Now, this was CIA located in Dayton, Ohio, Wright Field. They used supercomputers, and they had a lot of data on it. A lot.
So you hear from the CIA directly then about your video? Because usually when CIA gets a hold of something, they want to talk to the person directly as an eyewitness.
No, but they did give a mention to the Air Force captain. They said, and he said to me, the Air Force captain said, the CIA said to tell Mike, "Don't worry. We don't have stadium lights that big in America."
So how many lights were there?
Well, that was one light.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
So I'm very surprised that the CIA didn't contact you about it because, like I said, I mean, they normally, and I could understand they went to your friend there who produced their video, but usually when things like that happen, they want to go direct to the source.
Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't with me, and I don't think they had to. They gave me a lot of data. The Air Force captain, he probably has more data than he told me. I don't know. I mean, they got to have my number, but I didn't really give my number.
Do you think that they are now watching what you are doing?
Right now or then? All the time. All the time. We're in the surveillance state. Yeah, I got on their radar with this UFO easily, and probably with the stealth stuff before. Quite easily.
All right. So when you put this video out, how many people did you share it with?
Well, I threw it up on YouTube, and it grabbed about 800 views before I took it down because I needed to create some kind of a format. And it's been on Facebook since pretty much the first couple of weeks after it was ever videoed. So it's made its rounds, I guarantee. A lot of people.
What is the reaction from those people been?
The primary word is streetlight. However, I've grown to appreciate that because I took a photo in that area to get GPS coordinates at night. And several months later, I was looking at the photo of the security light. It's not a street light. The street is 70 yards away from the video location. But that security light looks about 98.3% just like the UFO.
Now, I have seen a UFO that looks that street light color. The first one I ever saw, to be a matter of fact. And it kind of had a shape of a jelly bean to it. And when I look at everything like that, I could see where people would say that it's a street light and not something high in the sky. So even though it's at night, how high above this was this craft?
How high up was the craft?
Yes.
The street light or the security light was about 30 feet, but the UFO, the CIA measured at 1,500 feet, and that's corroborated with the trigonometry scientist who asked me how high up was the UFO, and I said about 1,000 feet, and he said, how high did CIA say? And they said 1,500, and he said they were closer. So see, he knew. He knew.
We only got about 15 seconds here before we got to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to hold on, Mike, because we're going to continue this UFO talk right after this on the mighty SOR. You are listening to Spaced Out Radio. Mike Brown is our guest tonight, independent UFO researcher out of the state of Michigan. Talking UFOs, cloaking, stealth, and so much more. We'll be back with the second half hour right after this.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio Live with Dave Scott on the Deep Talk Radio Network.
You know, it's hard being the bad man of ufology, but that's just the way that I like it. This is Chris George Zuger, and I'll be hanging out with Dave Scott and SOR scientist Chris Cogswell for Reality Paranormal, the second Wednesday of every month. And our job is to break it down and come to conclusions as to what is really going on in the supernatural world. I'd love for you to join us right here on Spaced Out Radio.
Did you know Spaced Out Radio runs 7 days a week? Hi there, this is Tessa Nicole Thomas, and I'm here to take you on a paranormal journey each Saturday and Sunday night. Why change the station when you have it all right here? Together, we'll hang out and share some strange and scary stories. And don't forget, we have Psychic Sundays as well, so come tune in Spaced Out Weekends. We get going at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com, where we own the night.
A timepiece is a reflection of who you are, and what better way to show off the real you than with an Escape watch? Escape is a lifestyle brand accessorizing your days and nights. Choose to escape and create the life of discovery that you deserve. Dream, play, unite with your own personalized Escape watch. Head to escapewatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox, The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
We're bringing scientific thought to the paranormal. Hi there, this is Spaced Out Radio scientist Chris Cogswell. Join me, Chris Zuger, and Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month, where we break down the who from the woo when it comes to everything paranormal. We'll investigate and try to bring sensible answers to those straight and sometimes outlandish questions people have. Hey, not everything has an answer, but we'll do our best. Listen in to Reality Paranormal only on Spaced Out Radio.
Heading to Vancouver and looking for a night on the town? The Moose Vancouver is the bar that never stops rocking until 2 a.m. every night. The Moose has great food with everything on the menu from $6.95 to $8.95. Fantastic, vibrant staff and rock and roll that will bring you back to when the music was real, the hair was long, and the guitars were rocking. Get your party on at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Coming soon to our website, spacedoutradio.com, is the SOR Space Travelers Club. For just $5 a month, you can get into a private area on our site where you can hang with other listeners in our chat room, post in our forum, and check out a bunch of exclusive content and store that won't be found anywhere else, including a nightly after-show party with Dave. It's going to be the best $5 a month you're going to spend. The SOR Space Travelers, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Are you tired of being blocked, shadow banned, or placed in jail for simply posting your thoughts on social media? Social Media Freedom can take care of that for you. Social Media Freedom is the newest and one of the best free new apps that allows you the freedom to post what you want, when you want. It takes seconds to download from your app store. Come join the tribe at Social Media Freedom. It's time to set yourself free.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
Hi there, this is Geraldine Orozco from San Francisco's Bay Area Meditation. I invite you to join me the first Tuesday of every month with Dave Scott for Spaced Out Radio's The Spiritual You. In this fast-paced world we live in, it's time for you to take some time for you. We'll cover every possible subject from powerful meditation to healing techniques to your own intuition and spirituality. So come join us for The Spiritual You.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Spaced Out Radio. Tonight I am your host, Dave Scott. We got Mike Brown, independent UFO researcher and author, hanging out with us tonight, talking about UFOs, cloaking. And in the first half hour, we talked about a couple of UFO sightings that he had, including a video that was actually shown to members of CIA. And very intriguing, very intriguing. Mike, welcome back.
Thank you, Dave.
Not a problem. So when you started having these experiences, are these the only two UFO experiences that you've had, or have you had more since you started really investigating?
Now, these are the two that I would regard as UFOs. I did see in northern Grand Rapids at night, in the middle of the night, which was probably a dirigible or a lit blimp. It was golden and like a cigar. I don't think that's really what northern Grand Rapids has out there at 3 in the morning. That was probably UFO, but I couldn't validate it. It was moving slow. There was also in Florida, probably, I'd say 5 years ago, I did see 5 orbs flying in slot formation. No particular pattern, and they were very high up. I don't know how high to say. I'm probably going to have to say 90,000 feet. And they just paused, and then they traveled on real slow, and then they just faded. And I realized they were going out into space.
Oh, wow. That seems very interesting.
Yeah.
So in your sites, how do you see them? Do you see them with your bare eyes, and do you always try and film them with your cell phone, or do you have any camera gear that you are using, and how often are you trying to find these craft?
I generally see one UFO every 10 years. That I can always see them with my eye. This is the only one I have video of. I could have gotten video of the orbs, the 5 in a pack, but they were so high up it wasn't even a bother.
When you were looking for UFOs, and for people out there who have never ever had the opportunity to spend the time outside on a clear night looking for craft, what do you recommend people do?
Well, I mean, there's really no set pattern. These things will surprise you. I mean, you could pass it off as a helicopter, be driving in your car and not able to do a thing. It could fly overhead in 3 seconds like the Triangle did. I think that the orbs were attracted by pretty much a sail going on at night, about 10 at night, where these searchlights were all just flipping out to attract people. And I thought, wow, that's going to bring a UFO in. And it did. Well, with the Triangle UFO, I had driven my father's pickup up a small dirt mound and had the high beams on. And everybody was cheering, and I backed down. And then the UFO went over about half a minute later. So I think there is something to lights attracting attention with the UFOs. You just have to be vigilant.
So the video that you did catch, where is it now? Where can people see it?
Well, there's several places. I would say if you got the ebook, Mock UFO, that leads you to where you will find it at YouTube. It is all over the place. The video is on my phone. It's on YouTube. It's even on my my personal Facebook page. You can find it through that and link over to YouTube.
All right. No, I think that's good. I'm glad that you did put it on YouTube. What's your YouTube channel called so our audience can go check it on out?
Well, I type in, let me see, I type in like Mike, Michigan UFO, August 2014, and you can put in the date, which I have as August August 6th. So it used to appear with me typing just Mike Michigan UFO, but then it kind of got buried. But you'll find it, and you'll get there.
Well, I'm looking at it right now, and I actually did find it by touching that, and it does look like a streetlight. I'm not going to lie. It does look like a streetlight. I'm playing it again.
I can appreciate that.
So what makes this define what we're looking at not as a streetlight with reflection coming off, which bright light does, because it definitely does look like there is a pole there.
Well, that pole is the laser beam. I call it laser. CIA said it is a light. It is refracting. CIA tested that for wood or steel, and it was neither. They said it is a light, and it is acting like a whirlpool. And I told Air Force Captain, retired, you mean like a tornado, an eddy? He said, no, like a whirlpool. Well, the degrees on your cell phone will show this was significantly high in the sky as an angle. Plus, both security light and UFO are in the same frame, and there's GPS on the phone. So no one's really fooled past the point where even the trigonometry scientist acknowledges that this is 1,500 feet up, which is a little high for our security lights and street lights.
No, I understand that, but I mean, look, I spent, and I'm not trying to give you a hard time here, okay, but I spent some time in working with television cameras, and the way that your camera is kind of located or focused on, the light is down low, which would obviously give people the assumption that they're looking at a street light and not something up in the sky because there's so much black sky above it, and it is a little shaky.
Yeah. That's because I only had the cell phone for about a week, and I was not familiar that the camera eye was off-center. I thought it was centered. So I also had to move the camera around to catch something because it would not register on my phone screen to know really where it was. So that accounts for leaving it out of center frame. However, all of the UFO is in one good picture if you screen save it.
Okay. So with that, what kind of phone were you using?
The cheapest Verizon phone there was, probably a $45 Android Optimus.
Ah, gotcha. So when you were grabbing this and, you see the brown streak going down, which, many people have probably said to you that's a some sort of a pole that a light is sitting on, because, we do have to show both sides of everything here. And that's just the way it is. The lights that are reflecting off of it, are you saying that those are not a reflection from the brightness of the light, but actually part of the ship?
The word is refract, not reflect. And it is all connected. The beam is connected, and CIA measured that beam at 8 feet wide as it exited the craft, expanding to over 30 feet before it left the screen.
Okay. So when that video, did it leave the screen itself, or because you were having troubles learning your new cell phone and getting it in focus, was it something that you maybe moved?
What I did is I did not think I was capturing video, and I gave up the pursuit of video. So I panned the phone down, which gives the illusion of it launching up and away. But MUFON will say, I said in my report that there was a pursuit aircraft. I did not say that. If you look at my report, you will see I gave up the pursuit of any more video.
Right. So why did you stop video on it? Because if you got something like that, you don't really stop video.
That's right. One is I did not think it was showing up. And I had been switching between video and camera frantically. And all I got was 24 seconds of video. I have no photos original. I have no other video. I also chose to enjoy this UFO and watch and observe it as it finished flying over. But that's my explanation there.
Okay, so looking at it, and I've frozen this video at 20 seconds, I believe 20 seconds here. There is a secondary light that is streaking, almost like a cigar shape by it. Now, at the 20 seconds, it doesn't look as much like a street light than it did earlier on in the video. But that cigar shape that is down below on the left of the video, and you can find it on YouTube by typing in Mike Michigan UFO August 2014. That's what I did. What do you think that secondary streak is?
That's easy. That's the security light, the mercury light in 2014, and they changed that out. That was the size of a medicine ball. But they changed that light out around 2015, 2016, and added one of these little Tesla bulbs. Now it's the size of a loaf of banana bread.
Okay, so that is a street light.
No, that is a security light. It has always been a security light. There's not a street closer than 70 yards. It could never light up a street.
No, okay, but what I'm saying is it's a light on the ground.
No, it's a light affixed. It's a light attached to the...
Mike, that's what I'm talking about, is that it's part of the ground. It comes from the ground. There's a pole there.
That would be okay. It's connected to a building, a steel building.
Okay, so, looking at the video then, I can see why, okay. Now, like I said, earlier on in the video, at about the 10-second mark, 9-10-second mark, it does look like it is some sort of street light. But if you go to the 20-second mark and you put pause on it, that's where it gets a little bit weird. And it does look a little bit different. It almost looks, and I'll be honest, at the 20-second mark, if you pause it, it looks like one of those square-type craft that we have heard people like Michael Schratt talking about on this show.
Are you talking about the light on the right-hand side?
No,
or the left?
The big one. The big one.
Yeah, that's a parallelogram-shaped craft. I believe that adds lift, if you'll notice.
Could be. It's intriguing. It's intriguing when you do pause on it. That's for sure. It is intriguing when you pause on it, because I think if you play it right through, you're going to be like, really? What's this? A couple of streetlights? But when you pause it, it does look a little bit different, and I can see where you're going with that.
That's right. I have foreground and background objects and all kinds of CIA data. There's a jet in the background, and I can't say right now, but I bet you the security light is in the same frame as not only the UFO, but probably the jet.
Okay. Now, in this video, I'm not seeing the jet.
Yep, you won't. Only MUFON and some others can see it. It's a jet that is, who knows, 3 miles up, and the light on a jet is like smaller than a football. This UFO is probably the size of a city block. If you measure 8 feet across as the laser, I call it laser, incrementally, this craft is like 250 feet tall and is in the footprint of a city block easily.
That's big. That's very big.
Yeah, you're going to see that.
So in this video, all right, I'm looking at it at around the, and I've replayed it a couple of times now, at around the, where is it here? That's weird. Now I'm not seeing it. Oh, right there. Hold on. Gotta back it up a second here. At about the 7-second mark, right below the light, there seems to be like, is that a building or something that looks like a little bit of a triangular shape in the lower right-hand corner?
That is correct. That is a steel building, and that is corrugated steel siding, which is ridges for strength. That is exactly replicated with the nose of the UFO that has a chatter, a light that goes dark light, dark light, dark light. I tend to think that's the bending of space in front of this thing, and that laser may well be cutting a hole in the space-time continuum. I think it's that powerful. Now, the trigonometry scientist told me that the beam of light is curving around something. They can't tell what. They thought it was a truck or a small house. And after I realized they're looking at the building. But they said that it's curving around an area of black that is blacker than any black they can find anywhere on the screen. But I don't trust the trigonometry scientist very much. But he does have, well, he's conflicted as can be. One is he says it's curving around an area of black. Well, how come? You can see a rectangle of the building. That's not black. He called it a rocket drone, a rocket strapped to a drone. But that's not what CIA is getting. And plus, he's telling me that the radar system caught all of it. But he's talking about what happened an hour after video in which the police were summoned. And me and the officer, Officer Troy Woodwhite, we watched something go straight out into space and disappear. I said it was at about 90,000 feet. He said, no, that was like 19,000 feet. The trigonometry scientist said that it was a rocket strapped to a drone built by a 10-year-old out by the lake shore, launched about 30 miles to the west. This is at 10 at night. And then he went on to say it was at 9,000 feet that it ran out of fuel, and that's why it disappeared. And it fell to 6,000 feet and deployed chute. That's all fantastic, but I'm talking about what happened around 10 at night, not what happened at 11. He's really conflicted.
Is there a police report about this?
There is, but it was lost. And 4 days later, I had to acquire a supplemental police report in which the officer looked at the video and said it looks like a light from an elevated street pole.
So you're saying or accusing the officer of changing his story probably because he did not want to be a part of anything extraterrestrial.
No. The first officer was called Troy Woodwhite. The second responding officer, 4 days later, turned out to be a different person entirely. He only saw video. Kind of like you. Only saw video.
We only got about 90 seconds here before we got to go to break, and I just have a plethora of questions that I have for you regarding this video. I don't know if starting those questions now would be prudent for our fantastic audience who is, lapping this all up right now, or if we should just kind of go. What was the reaction of the original officer, and have you talked to him since then?
I did not show the video that night to the original officer because I wasn't familiar. I was not aware of how my phone functioned, and I didn't want to erase the video. About a week later, I learned how to operate the phone. I did manage to show him at a gas station, but of course he couldn't see anything but a little, light blipping around. But what me and the officer saw going up in the sky and disappearing, I have documented in mock UFO, and I said to the officer when he showed up, I saw a UFO look, and I said, look at there, and then it was a jet moving, and it looked like, it was a traveling UFO. I go, oh wait, that's a jet. And I go, oh, wait, look there, and we both looked. I go, you see that? He says, I see it. I go, you got that? He goes, I got that, and it was traveling up, and then bam, disappeared like it went into a wormhole, like somebody threw a bucket of cold water on it. He said, whoa, I never saw anything like that before. And there was an officer that was there, and he stepped out of the car and said, what was that? And I said, it was another UFO.
Interesting. And on that note, Mike, I'm going to get you to hold on because we are going to hop out for our break at the top of the hour. Interesting story here on Spaced Out Radio tonight. Independent UFO researcher Mike Brown is with us. We've posted his YouTube video on Twitter at #SpacedOutRadio if you want to check it on out, along with in our Spreaker chat room and the SOR Space Travelers on Facebook. Have a look at it during the break. Tell me what you think. Watch it more than once or twice. Very curious indeed. We'll be back with hour number 2 right after this. Looking for the stories of the strange and weird that you will find hard to find anywhere else? Check out the SOR Newswire on our website. Our writers, led by Captain Shirk, are scouring the world for the oddest and most bizarre stories we can find. Everything from weird crime to suspenseful and paranormal. We're working hard for you to bring you the most intriguing news of your day. Check out the SOR Newswire at spacedoutradio.com today.
Every night on Spaced Out Radio, we have places for you to hang out. Hi, this is Carl. Join our SOR Space Travelers group on Facebook for live chat. On Twitter, using #SpacedOutRadio. You can also join us in our Spreaker chat room. Check us out on Instagram at Dave Scott SOR. All of our archives are free on YouTube at Spaced Out Radio. By the way, I'll be watching you at your window until you do. Bye!
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio Live with Dave Scott on the Deep Talk Radio Network.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Do you want to know what's really going on in your world? Do you have questions about who you can trust in the mainstream media? Then look no further than the Rebel Planet. Come get the straight answers right here at spacedoutradio.com. Join me, Jamie Sexton, creator of Rebel Planet News, as I fill you in on the stories behind the stories. All you truth seekers, be sure to tune in to Rebel Planet on spacedoutradio.com the third Thursday of every month.
The Call of the Wild is in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is one of the hottest bars and restaurants in the city. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose will rock you like a hurricane all night long. Great food with everything on the menu at $6.95 near the corner of Nelson and Granville. Get your horns up and come rock with us. The Moose Vancouver, the official rocking bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Come tune in to SOR where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother Is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com and remember, Little Brother Is Watching.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
The freedom to post what you want, when you want. That's the social media freedom you need. Social Media Freedom is the free app in your app store. No need to worry about going to jail or being shadow banned any longer. It's the freedom to say what you feel. The freedom to know Big Brother isn't watching. It's the way social media is supposed to be. Social Media Freedom. It's time to set yourself free. Download from your app store today.
On the first Tuesday of every month, I encourage you to come along for a journey with me, Geraldine Orozco, on The Spiritual You. Together, we will take a look at how to access the highest expression of yourself and change your life. Consciousness, ET contact, health, and wellness, we can talk about it all. So come along for a spiritual ride with me, Geraldine Orozco, on The Spiritual You, only on Spaced Out Radio.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
Find your escape where time has no limits. It's about living today and cherishing the heritage of yesterday. A spirit of adventure for what is new with the nostalgia of the past. Your timepiece is a reflection of who you are. Life surrounded by beauty from the world around us to the soul within. EscapeWatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
Hey, this is Canadian Paranormal Investigator Mike Moore. The third Wednesday of every month, I'll be teaming up with Dave Scott to bring you Ghosts of the Great White North. Each month, we will bring on guests from across Canada to discuss their ghostly encounters. Canada is a paranormal hotbed with stories you've never heard, so we're going to bring them to you. So get comfy on your Chesterfield, grab a donut, and join us, eh?
You know, it's hard being the bad man of ufology, but that's just the way that I like it. This is Chris George Zuger, and I'll be hanging out with Dave Scott and SOR scientist Chris Cogswell for Reality Paranormal, the second Wednesday of every month. And our job is to break it down and come to conclusions as to what is really going on in the supernatural world. I'd love for you to join us right here on Spaced Out Radio.
We are getting ready to relaunch the SOR Space Travelers Club at spacedoutradio.com. For $5 a month, you can join us for a plethora of features found nowhere else. Hang out in a private chat room during the show and after party. You can check out some exclusive content and a store specifically for you, as well as a private listener forum where you can post your thoughts, stories, and pictures. The SOR Space Travelers Club, coming soon to spacedoutradio.com.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio Show.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spaced Out Radio. Tonight, I am your host, Dave Scott. Always a pleasure to have you with us. Tomorrow night on the show, United Kingdom paranormal researcher Richard Case joins us to tell us some of his ghostly encounters. We get going at 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern at spacedoutradio.com. Hi to everyone listening in on the SOR Radio Network and Deep Talk Radio. Remember, you can check out our archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. Mike McNeil has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Now, Mike, you're on the West Coast. Tomorrow is Friday. Not today, not yesterday. Tomorrow. 2 days from now. Son of a gun, you even got me screwed up with this one. Elogofusio hippopo cunuris. Cunurius? Come on, Mike. That's not impressive. Not impressive for the password. But Mike, who is covering for Bill, who is retired from the password, now sets a password each and every night right here on the mighty SOR. McNeil. Now, our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you. You can rock out to Bumblefoot, soon shop at our brand new store, read up on the SOR Newswire, and so much more. Tonight we are talking with independent UFO researcher Mike Brown. He has a video on YouTube that I highly suggest you check out. Man, it's a controversial one. I'm not going to lie. It's a controversial one. All you got to do is type in Mike Michigan UFO August 2014 on YouTube. Check it on out. Let them know what you think it is. A lot of people say it's a streetlight. A lot of people will say it's a UFO. That's really for all of you to decide. Mike, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Now, going to this video, and I'm gonna press you on this a little bit because I think it needs to be added. You had mentioned a couple of times last hour that you have not talked to the CIA about this. It was given to the CIA, and there was some response. Why do you think the CIA never reached out to you regarding this if they felt that it was an actual UFO?
Well, I don't know what protocol is for them. This was before December 16th, 2017, so the urgency to review UFOs was not like it is since that time. They probably have all the data they need, and if I ever needed to, I'd go back.
I understand that, but if they felt compelled that this was a real UFO video, I'm still in a little bit of shock that they've never reached out to you, because you are quoting them as what they have said, but they haven't said it to you. They said it to someone else. And wouldn't you feel more comfortable as a researcher if they had reached out to you about it instead?
Yes, but CIA isn't going to dial you up. Where can you tell me that the CIA calls people up if they turn in a real UFO? Have you ever heard of such a thing?
Lots of times.
Not me. Not me. Maybe because mine is so real and valid, they don't need to do that.
Or maybe, just maybe, they're waiting for you to put a second video out.
What would that do, Dave?
Well, if you get two concrete videos like that, they might have some interest in having a chat saying, hey, man, how come you're catching some really good stuff here?
Well, all right. There is a person in Sparta, Michigan, who gave me 2 videos within 6 months, and it looks like a Bell craft. Now, those are some videos, and they're in Mock UFO, in the center of Mock UFO, the ebook. I broke those down with filters using tint, hue, contrast, brightness, all these things, and there are images on this Bell craft. And the second time it showed up, the images had deteriorated by some 80%. Very peculiar. That is not my video on my phone and my metadata. But nonetheless, I now own that video, so perhaps if I draw attention somehow, maybe they can contact me back. Now I have 3 videos.
Where do you see this taking your research? Like, what do you want out of it?
Well, I appreciate people calling it a street light. And for many years, I was a little dismayed. But recently, I found that the security light is kind of a blessing in disguise. So I would like people to kind of own up that it's not a street light or a security light, that it's a UFO. And I think it's time to admit that. I think we can all do that.
Do you think that when you look at that, do you think that the public reaction to this, as you mentioned, that you like the fact that people think it's a street light, do you think that the public reaction is making you hungrier to prove that this is a real video comparatively to what your critics are saying?
I do like that they call it a street light now, because don't you see how wonderful it is that security light looks just about like monkey to man, almost 100%. I think that is amusing. So I would like the people to acknowledge that, and that is just a way that the UFO skirts the issue. I believe, and this is just my belief, beliefs can change, but I believe the aliens have some sort of access to all our photography in a way. So they could look at a photo that we made on, let's say, our cell phone of a security light, and they're going, let's make our ship look like this security light. Therefore, when it shows up on somebody's phone, us, in our craft, everybody, even probably the Air Force, would say, nope, you have a security light. Well, you end up throwing away and you get rid of the negative, and they are what? The aliens are more protected, aren't they?
Now, looking at that video, and I'm going to tell you right now, I am an ET experiencer. I've seen 4 different grays and one that I don't know what the hell it was. I'm not seeing any aliens in that video.
No, of course not. The light is so bright, I had to diffuse the light and break it down using filters like contrast, sharpness, cartoon, vintage, Norre, you name it. And then you zoom in, screenshot, do some more filters, zoom in, screen. I changed 4 or 5 phones, 4 or 5 different apps. And then I started to get something that I called the alien way back around 2014, 15. It was just a little black dot on the UFO. Everybody can see it. It's the white silvery UFO part under filter with a little black dot. I call him the alien. But around November 2017, before I was going to get my ebook ready, I said, I'm going to check this little black dot out. I'm going to start throwing filters on. I zoomed in, and wham, there's the alien, and everybody can see the bird at his feet. I mean, everybody sees the bird. Talons, primary feathers, a beak, an eye. Everybody sees the bird. Now, the alien, you can see the dark of his eye, the pupil. You can see the colored part called the iris. You can see the cornea, or the white part of the eye, on either side of the iris. You can see a full-face feature. He's holding a tablet of destinies. You can read 40-plus details on the tablet.
So how many times did you have to zoom in order to see that?
That's an incredible question. I know NSA would have all that metadata, and CIA, Pentagon, whatever, but you look at the original video, and it's a little speck of white light. And now you're going to zoom in the best you can, and then it stops to a point, so you screenshot it. Then you zoom in more. Then you begin adding filters. And then you have to locate the area you want to focus on. Then you have to perhaps zoom in better. I mean, if you want to get the alien's, say, portrait, you're going to have to zoom in again, and maybe again, and maybe again. You add your filters. You don't over-filter it. You don't add too much brightness. You don't add too less. You don't focus somewhere else. It's there, and NASA is even welcome to now bust through and find more of the alien. Heck, I think they even could tell us the pigment of this alien.
What kind of alien do you think we are looking at here?
Well, if the beam of light, which I'll call laser, is 8 feet wide, you just measure that incrementally sideways. You have the alien at 12 feet. I call that the giant. I call that Anunnaki, just like they are. And the bird is about 2.5 feet tall, almost like about the size of a bald eagle, the harpy eagle. Yeah, so all the measurements are there. I believe that is not no 4-foot green or gray. He looks human-like. So this all just adds to helping the alien to be Anunnaki, who, well, I guess they mess with our DNA. And if you look at the depictions in Samaria, they do look like giants seated, having everybody come to them, and standing, holding lions like they're a little chihuahua, the giants.
Have you ever been abducted yourself?
No, I have not. But this is a close encounter of one kind. But I skipped being abducted by the aliens, as far as I know. Because sometimes you don't have the memory. But as far as I know.
Well, now that you've had this experience, have you thought about going into maybe a hypnotherapy where they could regress you to see if you have been taken and had anything done to maybe help you understand this sighting a little bit more?
I might have thought of that. I'm not sure. That does sound like an idea. I don't know if I put much stock in that. I mean, what if they don't find anything and I was? Or what if they find something and I wasn't? I have a lot to do. That's one thing I could say. I think I would go ahead and check and cross off the list. Yes, sir.
I think you should. Because,
okay.
You know, with the way that everything has been said by you, and if you had that close of an encounter, maybe they were dropping you off.
Well, that's a possibility, except I saw away in the distance, maybe 2 miles out. And I caught that coming in, and I watched it until it got another 2 miles away, and then I gave up viewing it with my eyes then. Dropped me off. I don't know if I was inside, and I just felt like going outside. I felt the sense that I needed to be outside, and I was watching a jet come in from a near opposite angle to everything, and it was leaving Gerald R. Ford International Airport to my southeast. This jet was now going to the northwest. And then I looked over to my west and noticed the UFO, and they were both heading on a collision course, and I was sure they were going to cross. I don't know. I mean, you know, that's up for the hypnotherapist to decide if there was an abduction at all or a dropping off, isn't that?
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had dreams about aliens or about alien encounters?
Yes, I had a vivid dream where I was actually in a small building in my backyard. However, that thing changed and lit up and was like the size of a giant room, and it was lit up with all the brightest lights you could see, like Christmas balls, but everything was just pretty much silvery white. And I had sensed there was aliens, I don't know, 4 or 5 in there, and then I woke up. That was that for that.
Yeah, I fully understand where you're going with that. And, you know, I'm sitting here thinking, if you had that close of an encounter, because I've had them myself, I know many people and have interviewed so many people who have had those type of close encounters. I'm just wondering if maybe that you're part of the club that has been taken, and maybe, who knows, maybe they've downloaded more information to you than you know.
Yeah, there's a strong possibility. My stealth copyrights are pretty spooky, so I may have just attracted their attention. I can concur with that.
Are you scared to potentially know that?
No, I'm not. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
Got a question from B in the chat room, and she is asking, with all of your image manipulation, have you ever considered having a professional image analyst looking at these images or this video?
Well, one would be the CIA. One would be the trigonometry scientist, Mr. Bowden, out of Geek Group in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And he got empirical data. And I have given this to Mr. Richard, and he used to work at MIT as a quantum theorist, quantum physicist. He was also at NASA, and now he's retired law enforcement out of Florida. He has a similar craft that he can only get a photo of, and he got his about 3 days after mine. And he said it had a laser beam coming down, but it retracted. And since he's colorblind, he didn't know what color the beam was, and he said it zipped off at 12,000 miles an hour and near to the speed of light. So there are several people, but now, yeah, that's a great chance. Let's have some real people with real background. How about Mr. Cogswell? Let's have him look at it.
Oh, I don't know if you want Chris to look at it. He's pretty naive when it comes to videos and photos like this. He doesn't even believe Bob Lazar is real.
Well, I know, but you see, he wants video, Mr. Cogswell. And Mr. Cogswell, he went to a lot of college, and this is his chance to put his skills to the test.
Well, he's definitely done that before, and as our resident scientist, I will pass that on. You should also look at getting maybe Everett Thiemer or Rich Giordano to look at this stuff, because they are both highly into the UFO side of things, and they might be able to help you out and give you some answers there as well.
Exactly. And that's the thing that your show is bringing, is this to light, so we can have this critically analyzed by people who can actually put this UFO through the rigors and bring us some decent answers. The CIA could get them. I'm sure they're going to come up with the same numbers, plus a lot more data.
What would you like to find out through this video? Because it is, looking at it, if it is the real thing, it's pretty impressive. What do you want?
Well, Mr. Richard, he said that it was burning titanium. So how about we can determine the alloy? Or how about we can find out what this laser is doing? Is this laser actually ripping a hole in the space-time continuum? Because, around late 2016, the turn of 2017, there was concern by the U.S. military that China had made a laser so powerful, so massive, that it could rip a hole in the space-time continuum and grant them time travel. So maybe even Mr. Bigelow, something can be determined from this to add to some kind of a technology out there that we could make useful of.
Now, with the idea that, okay, we know the CIA has looked at it. We know your Army friend has looked at it. We know you've had one scientist take a look at it. Did you talk to the scientist directly, or was it via email or through someone else?
No, I went to him and talked to him directly, and he immediately shook my hand and said, if you have a UFO, we have a $1 million bounty for anybody that can bring empirical data on Sasquatch, Loch Ness, or UFO. He immediately got his staff to grab a camera. They followed me around. I was there for 3 hours. They pulled the SIM chip. They did a whole bunch of data. He asked me to walk around to their various rooms in their factory, and he asked me, how long is this room? I said, 21 feet. He said, it's exactly 21 feet. We did all this. He ran out there, did trigonometry analysis, and in the end, he called me a hoax, a rocket drone. He called it a rocket drone.
No,
yeah.
Really, eh? That's... Why would he say it's a rocket? Why would he say rocket drone?
I think it might be a little on the corrupt side, sir. There's a $1 million bounty. And when I showed up about half a year later, he had all the ductwork ripped out. He was doing awning. He was doing a complete facelift on this whole giant factory. Why would he say that? You know, we can ask him. But he ended up being pretty harsh toward me. I can't really say. But he was pretty harsh toward me.
Why is that?
That's not a scientist anymore.
Why was he so critical?
Well, he asked for me to send him some photos of this UFO, and I was not familiar with Gmail. That's the way he wanted the photo sent, so I would send them like one at a time, and he got a little annoyed, saying, you know what, somebody that sends this many photos, you know what they are? And then he went on to say, and that's not a kind thing. And that was pretty much the end of that.
Yeah, that's not very polite, is it?
Well, no, but, you know, he has tax problems in Kalamazoo, was kicked out of Kalamazoo, which is 30 miles south of Grand Rapids. He's not allowed back there again. I don't know, maybe he has problems. And when you have problems, you don't really want to mess around with my UFO.
You think your UFO could ruin his career, that video?
Who knows? What if they found out he just took that $1 million saying, nobody's going to come to me with Sasquatch? And for the UFO, he called it a rocket drone.
So what do you think he is, what group is he a part of that's offering $1 million? Because I know a lot about this field, and I had never heard of that.
It's called Geek Group. They're on Leonard Street in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And, you know, I'd spoken to Peter Davenport. What do I do? He says, you know, we don't analyze these UFOs. And he said, go to a college, you know, basically. I couldn't get anywhere at a college. I went to the Geek Group, and he said, we have supercomputers, Mike. We have ones that are better than the government. He had so much pride. Yep, so I gave him the video, and he looked at it, but he wrote it off. And we can always ask him, but I think he might have troubles, and he just doesn't want to go near it. He calls the laser coming down a rocket plume. But see, CIA tested that for wood or steel, and they said it's neither. It's a light. That would show up easily as a rocket plume, not a light to CIA. And if it's the steel corrugated siding of a steel building built by the general, that's going to show up as steel when the CIA tests it for wood or steel. It is neither.
Right.
They said it is a light. A light.
Well, I think we can agree it's a light. And, Mike, I'm going to get you to hold on right there, okay? Because...
All right.
We got to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. We're past the halfway point, and here we go. The second half of the show coming up right after this on Spaced Out Radio.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio Live with Dave Scott on the Deep Talk Radio Network.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Heading to Vancouver and looking for a night on the town? The Moose Vancouver is the bar that never stops rocking until 2 a.m. every night. The Moose has great food with everything on the menu from $6.95 to $8.95. Fantastic, vibrant staff and rock and roll that will bring you back to when the music was real, the hair was long, and the guitars were rocking. Get your party on at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Coming soon to our website, spacedoutradio.com, is the SOR Space Travelers Club. For just $5 a month, you can get into a private area on our site where you can hang with other listeners in our chat room, post in our forum, and check out a bunch of exclusive content and store that won't be found anywhere else, including a nightly after-show party with Dave. It's going to be the best $5 a month you're going to spend. The SOR Space Travelers, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
We're bringing scientific thought to the paranormal. Hi there, this is Spaced Out Radio scientist Chris Cogswell. Join me, Chris Zuger, and Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month, where we break down the who from the woo when it comes to everything paranormal. We'll investigate and try to bring sensible answers to those straight and sometimes outlandish questions people have. Hey, not everything has an answer, but we'll do our best. Listen in to Reality Paranormal only on Spaced Out Radio.
Hi there, this is Geraldine Orozco from San Francisco's Bay Area Meditation. I invite you to join me the first Tuesday of every month with Dave Scott for Spaced Out Radio's The Spiritual You. In this fast-paced world we live in, it's time for you to take some time for you. We'll cover every possible subject from powerful meditation to healing techniques to your own intuition and spirituality. So come join us for The Spiritual You.
Did you know Spaced Out Radio runs 7 days a week? Hi there, this is Tessa Nicole Thomas, and I'm here to take you on a paranormal journey each Saturday and Sunday night. Why change the station when you have it all right here? Together, we'll hang out and share some strange and scary stories. And don't forget, we have Psychic Sundays as well, so come tune in Spaced Out Weekend. We get going at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com, where we own the night.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
A timepiece is a reflection of who you are, and what better way to show off the real you than with an Escape watch. Escape is a lifestyle brand accessorizing your days and nights. Choose to escape and create the life of discovery that you deserve. Dream, play, unite with your own personalized Escape watch. Head to escapewatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Are you tired of being blocked, shadow banned, or placed in jail for simply posting your thoughts on social media? Social Media Freedom can take care of that for you. Social Media Freedom is the newest and one of the best free new apps that allows you the freedom to post what you want, when you want. It takes seconds to download from your app store. Come join the tribe at Social Media Freedom. It's time to set yourself free.
You know, it's hard being the bad man of ufology, but that's just the way that I like it. This is Chris George Zuger, and I'll be hanging out with Dave Scott and SOR scientist Chris Cogswell for Reality Paranormal, the second Wednesday of every month. And our job is to break it down and come to conclusions as to what is really going on in the supernatural world. I'd love for you to join us right here on Spaced Out Radio.
We've passed the halfway point of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Great to have you with us. We're talking with independent UFO researcher and author Mike Brown tonight on the show about an intriguing video that he's had researched. Mike, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Dave.
Now, part of your research into this, you're wondering what kind of technology it's kind of hiding here. That brown beam, if we can call it that, you're looking at that as potentially something that is opening up to another dimension, maybe for this craft to crawl into. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, since I heard that China's laser could be powerful enough, that was admitted by the military of ours, I'm thinking that's a valid possibility. The CIA said it's acting like a whirlpool. That would give me the idea that it could be a vortex. You can actually see the beam twisting on some of my photos within Mock UFO, and sometimes you can see two laser beams at the same time twisting. I believe that there's a strong possibility. Look at the nose of the UFO. It's the chatter of light, the light, dark light, dark light. I heard in the last, 4 months that UFOs could be bending space around them, and then they pull toward them reality rather than travel through it. So if the UFO is only going 35, 40 miles an hour in the video that I have, how are you going to get from here to Pluto, let's say, in time? If you hit a wormhole, you're there in an instant. You don't need to go 7,000 miles an hour, speed of light almost. You can just go 30 miles an hour and set up for your portal, and you'll go where you need to go.
Well, I mean, considering that the speed of light is about 186,000 miles per second. That's pretty fast, even if you hop on a couple of wormholes, turn left to get to Pluto.
Yeah, but the universe is a very big place. They're from Nibiru, and everybody's talking the return and Planet X, and watch out for it. And they just hop off their planet and get here. I would say still, nonetheless, I would say taking a Stargate would probably be a little faster. And then let's say, what if they are from a relocated planet, traveling at, the speed of light or whatever. But all that can be determined as scientists will just apply the scientific method.
How many other scientists have reached out to you regarding this theory that you have about this craft?
Well, my theory is rather personal and sort of new. I would say not many, and I haven't really reached out to have the scientists look at that in particular. It's tough enough to get them to probably get past the streetlight portion of this.
What have other people said about that? I mean, you have obviously close people around you who know you a lot better than the majority of the people who listen to shows like this. The people who know you best, what's their opinion of it?
Well, I showed someone who I knew for 15 years. He was in the Amway business, a millionaire, and he said, Mike, you could have done that with a flashlight in your closet. And he pretty much hung up, and I haven't heard from him since. A lot of my friends aren't too scientific. I can't really lend a lot of credence and credit there where they're going to find out what a scientist could. They might just think I'm vying for attention. They might just think maybe I have high hopes, but I would just say, I should leave it up to the scientific community to tell us what we have.
So getting back to the whole cloaking and the vortex that this thing may be going in, okay, because I'll tell a little story here. The night I saw my black triangle, 3 of us were witnessing it on my patio. And we watched a door. It seemed like a door open up in the sky, even though we couldn't see it. And this craft seemed to fly into something, and we watched it disappear bit by bit until it was completely gone. With your theory in regards to what you saw, because you didn't see what I saw, I only know what I saw, and my 2 friends at the time only know what they saw. But with what you saw, did this craft just kind of blip out, or did it shoot up into the sky? Did it open a door and then just slowly disappear? Fill me in on that.
Well, the starship that I saw, I allowed it to travel off without the pursuit of any more video. So I watched it go another 2 miles away, and then it was pretty much riding over the roof, and I couldn't really watch it anymore. So I have no idea if it went up nose first into the sky, or if it hit a wormhole, if it lifted straight up. I never finished watching that. So I never got to explain that. And as for your door opening there, I don't know if that ship went through that rectangle or if it was coming out of it and then it returned in. But I'm telling you that when me and the officer saw something going up at about, I would say 90,000 feet, I'm going to stay with that, and disappear, that may have been the UFO, I believe, circling back, because while the police were on their way, I'm thinking that'd be so great if the UFO would show and I could prove things more. And once and so all of a sudden, it just went up, and then wham, it was gone. So I'm thinking if that was it, and the trigonometry scientist is just not really doing anything but blowing smoke, that may be it, actually going into a wormhole, and then that's why you can't see anything anymore. Now, radar from Coopersville, Michigan, is a military-grade radar that the scientists said caught this object at the 11 o'clock hour, 1 hour after the video. That is a very super sophisticated regional radar that can pick up and take over for Grand Rapids International Airport, the Gerald R. Ford one, should that one ever go down. I mean, it can even cover for Chicago if it needed.
How do you tie those together, that airport to your UFO? I'm a little confused there.
Gerald R. Ford International Airport, to my south, had the jet leaving. Now, to the west, 30 miles, maybe 25, is Coopersville. And out there, they have a radar installation, kind of like Epcot Center, way out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
So that one, the trigonometry scientist claimed was giving data on what he called the rocket drone around 11 o'clock at night. But that's an hour after the UFO. What about what was there an hour before? How about having some radar data from Coopersville, military-grade radar, at 10:03 p.m. on August 6, 2014? How about that?
Understandable. Very understandable regarding that. So when it comes to cloaking, now my image of a cloaking mechanism is that the thing can just be there 1 second and disappear the next We don't know if it's still there. We do not know if it's gone. I have seen cloaking happen in a different type of situation, more of a pixelation. But what's your definition then of cloaking when it comes to this craft?
Well, about a month before the starship went over, I was outside pondering what a UFO would look like for camouflage, be it blue and then blend in with the blue sky of the day, maybe black, blend in with the night, maybe a star field, maybe blinking lights, look like a jet. And then I looked up and I looked at that mercury light and how it was shining off in different spires of light. And I thought, wow, what if that was a UFO? And but then I thought, well, how are all these spires of light going to accompany a ship? You know, I mean, who's gonna live in that little area or whatever? And it's very odd to me. But then along rolls that UFO, and you know, it looks a lot like it, and it's cloaked in a way that it concealed, and that's another definition of cloak. It concealed itself to maybe look so bad like a security light. I can't get nowhere with it that I would like to. It looked like a firework, let's say. It looked like a drone. It looked like a helicopter. And then if you take a picture of it, it's going to look like 1 million security lights in America, all stuck to the side of a steel building. Another way that it will make its escape. It's a good cloak.
So with that, do you think that shows some sort of technology that we do not have on this planet? And maybe, just maybe, see, and when you bring up the cloaking, I'm going to change this entire section here. Let's go a little peek woo here, if you don't mind. I think that if you did catch what you caught, this is where I'm having troubles wondering why the CIA hasn't contacted you, because with your theory on cloaking and with this video, if you combine it, why wouldn't the CIA or the DIA or the NSA or the DND want to get a hold of you to say, hey, this is where we got to go. This is the information that we are looking for to try and solidify what we are trying to do, or something along those lines. They may have some more interest.
They weren't looking for it in 2014. Area 51 just came out in 2013 as a place. 2017 happened late, and then Pentagon and that are saying, you know, we basically are putting out these videos through to the stars with Tom DeLonge because we want the public to take a look at these. We want them to tell us what they know. FBI on their own personal page around that very time in December 2017 put out a black and white of a UFO and was actually telling you how to take a photo of a UFO. I don't think that the CIA had interest. There is a breakaway civilization, perhaps, and there's really no interest other than borrowing it forever, this technology, to just kind of give that up. You'll find that in many circles.
Well, I mean, Area 51 has been known for the last 50 years of existence. It only came out when Obama mentioned it on the late night show. I think that was Jimmy Kimmel. So Bob Lazar,
right?
Yeah, Bob Lazar worked at Area 51 in 1989. That's when we really learned what was going on at the base.
Right, and the president, way back there, Ike, he wanted to go into 51 because he thought something's going on. They're planning against us. He couldn't even get in. So, yeah, they've known about it, but the existence of it has been denied. Groom Lake,
yes.
Paradise Ranch, Area 51.
True that. Yeah, it wasn't talked about until Obama mentioned it in 2013. That is very true. But if you look at a lot of what has been happening out there, or what people theorize is happening out there, even if you buy half of the Bob Lazar story, you have to think that they have been working on this cloaking technology for years. We know the stealth technology has been around, or they've been trying to perfect it since the 1950s with the creation of the U-2 and the SR-71.
Yes, this is 2019, so yeah, you can say that. But when I talked to CIA around February 2015, in other words, through the Air Force captain, but I mean that gave over the video and was in that kind of a communication. 2015 wasn't 2017, December 16th, where disclosure or whatever they want to term it as, that was not in the air. That was not something that they were privy to discuss, nor did they want to. I think you'll find FBI, if they work with X-Files, even FBI really didn't really want to work with this prior to all of 2017. It's a secretive thing, I would say, and it involves, unfortunately, getting off this rock, this nice planet, and it involves a lot of change, and there's a lot of people in control. You could talk to Mr. Bigelow, you could talk to MUFON, you could talk to the Stars. A lot of this is very privy, high information, and they really, we're really in the infant stages of this. 2017, that was only like one solid year ago. I mean, this is all really kind of new.
Well, you and I will agree to disagree on that, and I'm not trying to be confrontational here or anything like that. But the fact
go ahead. What is it?
No, but the fact is, we do know that stealth technology was being developed in the late 1950s, and even the F-117 stealth fighter came out. It was designed in the late 60s, early 70s. It was pressed into action, I believe, around 1981. We didn't know about that aircraft flying out of Area 51 until it was leaked in 1989.
Exactly, 1989. Look at that year. Now, my stealth copyright is from around 1985, so I was early. You're talking about the Nighthawk. But
yes,
if you look at what Michael Surratt will say, and I've spoken to Michael on the phone for hours, he's pretty proud of the works of Ben Rich. Now, that was only working with the Have Blue project, the Hopeless Diamond. And why was it called the Hopeless Diamond? They couldn't get it to fly. It was hopeless. The Hopeless Diamond looks like a bad elongated diamond. It doesn't even have upright fins like the fighter. It doesn't even have wings. And as for the Have Blue, the upright fins are inward. That's the opposite of the stealth fighter, which flew fairly well.
Okay, you have
that was all around 1973. That was all around 1973, the Have Blue project, the Hopeless Diamond, the year I was born. So, of course, I'm not going to be working with stealth when I'm born. But you did say 1989. Don't you see that there could be some kind of, I would say some kind of clout that would want to be created where they would say, well, the technology is coming out in 89. Well, what if they had it around 86, 87? The stealth fighter is not the same as the Have Blue. It is not the same as the Hopeless Diamond.
There's a bunch of different projects. There's a bunch of different projects. I mean, if you talk to Michael Surratt, he will tell you that there was an SR-72, there was an SR-74, 75, which he believes the SR-75 is very much close to what we believe is the Aurora that people believe they have seen, which would be a hypersonic aircraft.
I have 10 stealth aircraft in my ebooks called Stealth Creation, How Stealth is Made, and the third one is called Making Stealth Drones, etc. I have 10 craft, and in the center of that line of creation is the Nighthawk. That is one. But what about the other 9? All those easily came after 1985.
Well, we got about 2 minutes. We got about 2 minutes. Yeah, we got about 2 minutes before we got to go to break. What other craft are you talking about then? Fill us in.
The other craft would have been the stealth bomber that we know. Another would be the F-22 Raptor. Another would be the F-35, the Predator drone, even the Black Widow. which they took out of service. The UCAV, the flying square, is actually one. That's the one that kicked it all off.
So
Another is the V-shape.
Oh. Yeah, 1 second here, because, I mean, you bring up something in regard to the UCAV. Do you believe, then, that's maybe what you saw in that video? Because it does look a little square.
Okay, well, the UCAV is going to look like a mini stealth bomber. The flying square would look like a diamond. But the flying square is probably the size of your living room. The CIA measurements on the beam at 8 feet wide, expanding to over 30, would lend to say the whole UFO is the size of a city block, hundreds of feet by hundreds of feet. No, this wasn't that. This was a UFO that I have. And if you want to say another UFO, the V-shape, which was created in the line of stealth, mentioned in my stealth books, ended up being the Phoenix Lights, which came out of 51, I would say, went down to Mexico and returned back too. So it wasn't over in Virginia or something. I would say, yeah, if you would check out those books, that is a story on its own, and I can handle the questions with that.
All right. Well, the questions are going to have to wait because we only got about 10 seconds here before we got to go to break, and I know our audience would love to ask you some questions, so hopefully they'll put them in capital letters in the chat rooms. I can pass them on to you in regards to this. We got another half hour to go with our guest tonight, independent UFO researcher Mike Brown. We're having a lot of fun tonight on the show, learning about this interesting video that he filmed of a UFO over Michigan back in 2014. You stay tuned, space travelers. We got 30 minutes to go before we get to the news of the night. We'll be back.
Come hang out with Spaced Out Radio, where we own the night. This is Carl. You can follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, and during the show, use the hashtag Spaced Out Radio to chat with us live. On Instagram, at Dave Scott SOR. On Facebook, give our page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. SOR archives are free on YouTube at Spaced Out Radio. Come join us, or I will come join you. See you at your window.
At spacedoutradio.com, we have a little bit of everything for you to stay up late. So while you're there, check out our SOR Newswire, where our team brings you stories of the weird and strange to the WTF from around the globe. News on Bigfoot, UFOs, paranormal, Darwinian-type crime tales. It's the stories that the mainstream media usually won't touch. Well, we got them all on the SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio Live with Dave Scott on the Deep Talk Radio Network.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Come tune in to SOR, where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother Is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com, where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com, and remember, Little Brother Is Watching.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
The Call of the Wild is in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is one of the hottest bars and restaurants in the city. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose will rock you like a hurricane all night long. Great food with everything on the menu at $6.95 near the corner of Nelson and Granville. Get your horns up and come rock with us. The Moose Vancouver, the official rocking bar of Spaced Out Radio.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Hey, this is Canadian Paranormal Investigator Mike Moore. The third Wednesday of every month, I'll be teaming up with Dave Scott to bring you Ghosts of the Great White North. Each month, we will bring on guests from across Canada to discuss their ghostly encounters. Canada is a paranormal hotbed with stories you've never heard, so we're going to bring them to you. So get comfy on your Chesterfield, grab a donut, and join us, eh?
You know, it's hard being the bad man of ufology, but that's just the way that I like it. This is Chris George Zuger, and I'll be hanging out with Dave Scott and SOR scientist Chris Cogswell for Reality Paranormal, the second Wednesday of every month. And our job is to break it down and come to conclusions as to what is really going on in the supernatural world. I'd love for you to join us right here on Spaced Out Radio.
We are getting ready to relaunch the SOR Space Travelers Club at spacedoutradio.com. For $5 a month, you can join us for a plethora of features found nowhere else. Hang out in a private chat room during the show and after party. You can check out some exclusive content and a store specifically for you, as well as a private listener forum where you can post your thoughts, stories, and pictures. The SOR Space Travelers Club, coming soon to spacedoutradio.com.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
The freedom to post what you want, when you want. That's the social media freedom you need. Social Media Freedom is the free app in your app store. No need to worry about going to jail or being shadow banned any longer. It's the freedom to say what you feel. The freedom to know Big Brother isn't watching. It's the way social media is supposed to be. Social Media Freedom. It's time to set yourself free. Download from your app store today.
Find your escape where time has no limits. It's about living today and cherishing the heritage of yesterday. A spirit of adventure for what is new, with the nostalgia of the past. Your timepiece is a reflection of who you are. Life surrounded by beauty from the world around us to the soul within. EscapeWatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
On the first Tuesday of every month, I encourage you to come along for a journey with me, Geraldine Orozco, on The Spiritual You. Together, we will take a look at how to access the highest expression of yourself and change your life. Consciousness, ET contact, health, and wellness, we can talk about it all. So come along for a spiritual ride with me. Spaced Out Radio.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
Do you want to know what's really going on in your world? Do you have questions about who you can trust in the mainstream media? Then look no further than the Rebel Planet. Come get the straight answers right here at spacedoutradio.com. Join me, Jamie Sexton, creator of Rebel Planet News, as I fill you in on the stories behind the stories. All you truth seekers, be sure to tune in to Rebel Planet on spacedoutradio.com the third Thursday of every month.
Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. Now, back to Dave Scott and SOR.
Welcome back to the third and final hour of Spaced Out Radio. Tonight, I am your host, Dave Scott. Great to have you with us. Tomorrow night on the show, we head across the pond to the United Kingdom, where paranormal researcher Richard Case will talk some very good ghostly encounters. We get going at 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern at spacedoutradio.com. Hi to everyone listening in on the SOR Radio Network and Deep Talk Radio. Remember, you can check out our archives at youtube.com/spacedoutradio. Just do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. Mike McNeil has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club, and he's making me scroll up for it. Mike, you're supposed to send it to me, man. Supposed to send it to me. Cardwell did. Now I gotta go way up here. Hold on. Scrolling. Where the heck did he hide this password? I think I went by it. I think I did. Either way, Mike sets a password each and every night right here on the mighty SOR. Unless I can find it here, because we should try and get to it. That would be kind of important. While I'm looking for that, oh, there it is. There it is. God, is it ugly. It's not even Friday night, man. Elo Go Fusho Hippopoconurius. I don't know what that means. I'm not trying it again. Thanks, Mike. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you. You can rock out to Bumblefoot, soon shop at our brand new store, read up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire, and so much more. For the final time tonight, we introduce independent UFO researcher Mike Brown. He's got a great video on YouTube, and if you want to look it up, tell us what you think. Just go into the search on YouTube, Mike Michigan UFO, August 2014. It's a 23-second long video. It's pretty impressive. Some will say it's a street light. That's glaring. Others say, hey, man, you got something here. This looks like a UFO. Mike, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
I have had a plethora of people asking where they could find your books on Amazon.
Should be at Amazon Kindle. It's an ebook, an electronic book. Mock UFO. Stealth creation is one. Another is how stealth is made. Another is making stealth drones, etc. Another one is Hacked 2015. Now that's a good one. But these are all by Michael Gerard Brown.
Excellent. Excellent. I appreciate you filling us in with that, man. Appreciate you filling that in with us. So you mentioned that you have a stealth copyright. What does that mean?
Well, in 2013, I went and began the process of formatting this copyright. Now, you own a copyright the minute you have it, but you are golden if you register it with the Office of Copyrights, Library of Congress, D.C. So in 2013, off of the computer, there are numbers, dates, time, the metadata, and that is in my stealth ebooks. And you will see that around the 16th of April, 2013, you'll see the timestamp. And very soon after, the Department of Defense on their own website said, we want to know how China all of a sudden had the design for the Raptor wing. If anybody has anything, let us know. Now, Peter Merlin, I'm going to say, I spoke to him for several hours. Peter Merlin, who does a lot of Area 51 and UFO research, he said the square is perfect for stealth. And you're going to see that all of my stealth jets incorporate the square. And all of the stealth aircraft borrow from each other, each to make the 10 line of stealth craft that I have in my copyright that I own.
So with this copyright, how did you find out that really nobody has grabbed it besides you, considering that the government had been working on this for decades?
Well, I liken the copyright to the novel Jaws. And then there are other things, like maybe you could say Jaws, the movie, was like getting a patent. Or maybe you could say Jaws 2 was like getting an agreement. Or you could say if you got the Burger King toy, that would be like the idea. So when I had the copyright, and I may well have the patent, I've spoken to attorneys, when you have the copyright on something, when you thought it, that's your copyright. And you just have to turn it into gold through the Library of Congress. And you can look at Nikola Tesla getting awarded after Marconi, even though he was late. The Army awarded him after the fact. The government has ways of knowing if you came up with it first.
So has anybody from the government kind of said, how did you come up with this?
No.
Interesting.
No.
Now, have you taken this to MUFON or to the Stars Academy, who is very credible and really wants to try and get videos like this to, to research, to try and figure out what is going on in our skies?
Yes, with the UFO. Tom DeLong is my personal friend on Facebook, but he's extremely busy. Yeah, and I did take my stealth, I'll say, to FBI, and 2 agents in the back room took a look at my stealth copyrights, and they said, why don't you make money on this? I said, make money? They said, yeah, I would. The other's like, yeah, I would. They go, why don't you format this in a way that we can understand and the public can understand? So in a way, I did take it to pros. With the UFO, it would be great if MUFON, which now joined league with To the Stars, would take a strong look at this. And maybe the people can help put this through, because I'm not too successful on my own.
Oh, if you're Facebook friends with Tom, I'm surprised he hasn't responded to you, because he loves this stuff.
He responds in my messenger to a point, but then he has stopped, and it's been probably since June since I heard from him. Who kind of really knows? Who kind of really knows? I hope he doesn't think it's a street light and just kind of was told to not look at a street light. But who knows? It'd be great if some real pros would say, yeah, we'll take a look at that. And there's a chance I could make a Hollywood movie out of this. I know an actual screenwriter out of Beverly Hills that he wants the whole thing for this. So there's a possibility there, and then that will take traction again.
So have you kind of lost traction on this? Do you feel the message is being lost because people like DeLong have stopped communicating with you?
That could be a strong point, because, you look to these people like Tom DeLong, you look to these creditable people, Michael Surratt and people like this. But what can you do? It looks so much like a security light. I was speaking on Messenger with Dwight Equitz. He used to be an actor, but now he's working with MUFON, and he stopped responding to me late November when I finally sent him the ebook, Mock UFO. It was right there where he decided to cut cables. He said to me, he goes, Mock UFOs. That's just what we need. And I responded back, one, not plural. Now what do you think? He read that, but he never responded again. I'm telling you, people really shy away strongly when I ask their feet to be put to the fire with my real UFO. It would be nice that people would look at this UFO quickly. It would be nice.
So you haven't tried To the Stars. What about MUFON?
I've tried To the Stars. I've posted on To the Stars.
Okay.
With MUFON, I took this to MUFON, and I have the Daniel J. Snow report in February 2015 on the 15th, and I could read that off, but he basically says on review of your photos, these are shots of a street lamp. Where's the object you saw? And then he would respond back by calling it all a hoax in the same month later on in February 2015, and he would say basically, this is the ISS. I have the International Space Station, Dave. He said it's a satellite, and he changed it to it's the blinking, flashing satellite, a newly launched one. He's pretty proud this Delirium software can help you with that. He ended up saying that basically that all this was an embellishment, and video proof was untruthful, as no object or pursuit aircraft is visible on video. He says snapshots provided, they're all of a street lamp in the lower right corner. Well, what's in the lower right-hand corner, Dave?
Oh, goodness, there's a triangle.
In the lower right-hand corner is the UFO. Remember you said on the left side,
yes,
that
okay.
one? Okay,
right.
that would be
I'm going to review it again. I do a bunch of things here,
so
man.
See, he's looking at it and just writing it off as a street light. Now, that's the UFO. Now, he also changed the trajectory of the jet. Now, the jet is outbound. Look at the black box. He said it's inbound. That just matched the trajectory of what? The satellite's coming over. Yeah. Like I'm going to get a satellite on a cheap Verizon phone. No, there's something fishy there. It's all explained in Mock UFO. Save your negatives.
B is asking you a question here in the chat room. She is asking, if she buys how stealth is made, would she be able to make stealth objects?
No, I originally made those to be toys or balsa wood creations. No, stealth is more sophisticated. Stealth, you'll be dealing with the government. That's a highly classified and privy object on its own. You're going to need coding to add to the low observability and the profile. You're going to need a place bigger than the aircraft itself. You're going to need to move around and get parts. It's not feasibly possible, and I do not advise it. It is my copyright, but I do not advise you go out and make your own stealth equipment. With
Renee. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Am I rude for cutting?
With regards to armament or flying a stealth craft, I would not advise that for the average citizen.
Renee is asking, Mike, have you tried getting a hold of Robert Bigelow and Bigelow Aerospace about this? Because they love this stuff.
You would think. I would need the help of the people. Please, why don't you? Because I can't even get Richard Nolan to respond to me once. And he's one of the best out of MUFON, I hear. No, I'm very grateful and lucky that you, Dave Scott, would take me on your show. I was very surprised. But I am speaking now to several pros, and there should be some pretty good radio shows here real quick. Some bigger names that have been there a lot longer. But I'm very grateful for what we have here with Spaced Out Radio. Guaranteed.
Well, I appreciate that. And, I'm sure the shows above us that are bigger than us with bigger names will definitely be interested in taking you on for sure. Absolutely. Why wouldn't they?
Yep. They've told me the producer will be in touch with me, and others are saying they will look at it over the holidays. Well, the holidays are over.
Get on them, man.
Well, he said he was going to pass it along to the team and his producers, and he said that several times. and I buy him on that. And so, yup, humble starts, humble beginnings. Yes, sir.
I hear you there, man. I hear you there. We are down to about 7.5 minutes left with you, and wow, has this show flown by. And, you know, the information that you have brought forward has been absolutely incredible, and I appreciate you doing that. As we start to slow things down and wind things down here, what is your message to the UFO community who is not taking this video very seriously?
I would say, listen to this broadcast from Spaced Out Radio. Buy the ebook Mock UFO. Read Mock UFO. Comprehend what is in Mock UFO. And then you begin to see that what we're dealing with is not a street light. We're dealing with something that is largely misrepresented, hugely misrepresented out there, and is given a shortfall. I don't think we're doing anybody any favors by ignoring this.
Do you think, though, that the UFO community, outside of who you have tried, like you haven't tried Bigelow Industries or Bigelow Aerospace, and I don't even know how to get in there. I don't even know a single person tied to that. But do you think that, you know, you have to take the bull by the horns here and try and expand? Because, I mean, if you have this information, man, that you're very convinced of, you got to run wild with it. You really do. You got to stay away from the small fry, and you got to go for the big dogs right off the hop, man. I would be hammering Bigelow. I would be hammering Jan Harzan at MUFON. I would be hammering, you know, people like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, how much of an opportunity does someone have with a real UFO on video to take and do the right thing with it? This is kind of new to me. I've given this to MUFON, and they blew it out of the water. And I've given this to Peter Davenport, and he said it's not a UFO unambiguously.
That's terrible.
Yeah. However, you know, all you do is, I guess, you know, you're right. Now it is time, and I told you these radio shows are right now on the horizon, probably in the next 60 days. And so with these big names, we'll move it forward, because these big names, you know, they maybe talk to Mr. Bigelow maybe every 3 months or something, or maybe they know somebody who talks to him well. Yeah, it'd be great. Mr. Bigelow is a strong believer in UFOs. Be a great person. But, yeah, I imagine they get 10,000 emails, and mine isn't really up there at the top.
Well, hopefully, if they see the video, they'll take it seriously. I mean, I gotta go on record, and this isn't about you or anything else. I gotta go on record and say I don't know what it is. I can see your perspective of what you think it is. I can see the perspective of people saying it's a street lamp. I don't know. I really don't know what it is. And, you know, I got to play that balancing form, man, where I got to call it down the middle. I am not sure. You may have something there. You may not. I really don't. Wow. So when you take things like that, and I'm just saying that to be honest, right? And you know, I believe you saw something. I'm not sure if you were holding your phone up and you caught a street lamp, but everything else was above that you were seeing. Because I think you're a genuine dude, man. I really do. I think you're a genuine dude. But on the flip side, you know, the one thing that I have learned about this field is it's highly critical. Highly critical. And the people in this field are always going to say no before they say, yeah, you got something there. And, you know, you just got to keep pedaling, man. You got to keep pedaling that bike. There's a lot of people out there who may see what you see.
Yep. Now, Mr. Bigelow looks at the video. He's going to see pretty much a street light. You got to put science on this. He would have to look at Mock UFO, the ebook, comprehend it, and then he'll know. I'm getting a bird, an eagle out of this. Now, if it was a security light, I might see a moth. This is a giant eagle, bare minimum. So it's a UFO, and you're not going to get an eagle. out of a street lamp, it'll obscure the whole thing. Or a street light, whatever's the difference, right?
Definitely. And, you know, I think that's what you have to do. But, I mean, what I would do, just to give you some sage advice, if you send this to Jan Harzan at MUFON, if you send it to Bigelow Aerospace or whoever else you want to try and send it to, I would attach the ebook to them. Let them read it for free, man. They might be able to say, hey, you know, we're seeing what you're seeing. You got to open up all the options, man. If you believe in it that strong, you got to open up all the options. That's what I would do.
Well, I have the ebook for $1.99, and I know these guys have deep pockets. I would say that would be how they would get that, rather in a PDF form. But yeah, Jan Harzan, Robert Bigelow at the Industry, these are some great suggestions, so thank you. I will take you up on that, and I will do this.
Not a problem. We only got about 2 minutes left. Unfortunately, this show has flown on by. I can't believe that we have pretty much run out of time here, my friend. But you have been absolutely amazing. What is your message for the audience who's going to go out there and view this video, maybe check out your books? What's your message to them overall about your investigations and the field of ufology in general?
Well, if you happen to catch video, you're not always going to be able to turn it into CIA. They're really not going to have an ear for you. But you can take it to a trigonometry scientist. They can get perfect data. And then from there, you can start to contact the professionals and work your way through the professional field. And you can do something about it, but you got to be out there. You're not going to see them in your basement.
That is definitely true. You definitely got to keep your eyes on the sky, don't you?
Yes, you do. You never know when the UFO is going to show, and you never know when you're going to be transfixed, and just let it fly by. You got to have your phone charged and ready.
Do you have a better phone now, just in case?
Nope, same cheap one, but just familiarize yourself. Practice the phone. Know how to turn on the functions. Get to the video. How to put something in frame, even if you're practicing with a street light. Get familiar with that. Be a quick draw. It'll help. It'll pay off in the future, I swear.
As we wind down here, do me one favor. Let everybody know where they can find your YouTube video as well as purchase your books once again.
The YouTube video, Mike Michigan UFO, August 6th. 2014. It's a 24-second video. You're going to find the ebooks at Amazon Kindle, and you're going to find Mock UFO by Michael Gerard Brown, as well as the Stealth books. You're going to find Stealth Creation, and the second is How Stealth is Made, and the third is Making Stealth Drones, etc. And the other one is TAC 2015, which Congress pretty much wants us.
I got to cut you off right there because we got to go to commercial. Thanks, Mike, for coming on the show.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio Live with Dave Scott on the Deep Talk Radio Network.
We're bringing scientific thought to the paranormal. Hi there, this is Spaced Out Radio scientist Chris Cogswell. Join me, Chris Zuger, and Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month, where we break down the who from the woo when it comes to everything paranormal. We'll investigate and try to bring sensible answers to those straight and sometimes out our best. Listen in to Reality Paranormal only on Spaced Out Radio.
Heading to Vancouver and looking for a night on the town? The Moose Vancouver is the bar that never stops rocking until 2 a.m. every night. The Moose has great food with everything on the menu from $6.95 to $8.95. Fantastic, vibrant staff and rock and roll that will bring you back to when the music was real, the hair was long, and the guitars were rocking. Get your party on at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Did you know Spaced Out Radio runs 7 days a week? Hi there, this is Tessa Nicole Thomas, and I'm here to take you on a paranormal journey each Saturday and Sunday night. Why change the station when you have it all right here? Together, we'll hang out and share some strange and scary stories. And don't forget, we have Psychic Sundays as well, so come tune in Spaced Out Weekend. We get going at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com, where we own the night.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot THAL, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
You know, it's hard being the bad man of ufology, but that's just the way that I like it. This is Chris George Zuger, and I'll be hanging out with Dave Scott and SOR scientist Chris Cogswell for Reality Paranormal, the second Wednesday of every month. And our job is to break it down and come to conclusions as to what is really going on in the supernatural world. I'd love for you to join us right here on Spaced Out Radio.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
Hi there, this is Geraldine Orozco from San Francisco's Bay Area Meditation. I invite you to join me the first Tuesday of every month with Dave Scott for Spaced Out Radio's The Spiritual You. In this fast-paced world we live in, it's time for you to take some time for you. We'll cover every possible subject, from powerful meditation to healing techniques to your own intuition and spirituality. So come join us for The Spiritual You.
A timepiece is a reflection of who you are, and what better way to show off the real you than with an Escape watch. Escape is a lifestyle brand accessorizing your days and nights. Choose to escape and create the life of discovery that you deserve. Dream, play, unite with your own personalized Escape watch. Head to escapewatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
Coming soon to our website, spacedoutradio.com, is the SOR Space Travelers Club. For just $5 a month, you can get into a private area on our site where you can hang with other listeners in our chat room, post in our forum, and check out a bunch of exclusive content and store that won't be found anywhere else, including a nightly after-show party with Dave. It's going to be the best $5 a month you're going to spend. The SOR Space Travelers, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
Are you tired of being blocked, shadow banned, or placed in jail for simply posting your thoughts on social media? Social Media Freedom can take care of that for you. Social Media Freedom is the newest and one of the best free new apps that allows you the freedom to post what you want, when you want. It takes seconds to download from your app store. Come join the tribe at Social Media Freedom. It's time to set yourself free. We've rounded third. We are headed for home tonight on the mighty SOR. And with that, we bring in the man, the myth, the paranoia legend, Mr. Olaf Phillips from Paranoia Magazine. The news is always changing, which is why we bring you the SOR Newswire at the back end of each and every show, because we're always looking for the weird, the wacky, the WTF that may not make the mainstream headlines. But don't worry, we have Olaf Phillips from Paranoia Magazine coming on in for the SOR Newswire. Mr. Olaf Phillips, how you doing, brother?
Greetings and salutations.
Wonderful.
I'm fine. How are you?
You know what? I just had a wonderful interview with a gentleman named Mike Brown who has this video. I think it's controversial, man. I think it's controversial. A lot of people say it's a street light. He believes it's a UFO. I'm on the fence. I am playing typical Canada here. Typical Canada. I'm sitting on the fence. I'm not saying it was a UFO. I'm not saying it was a street light. But the guy is convinced. He seems like a very, very believable guy, considering that he believes what he saw. I'm still on the fence. Do not know. Do not really know.
You know, you may never know, Dave.
I may never know. That is absolutely right. But you know what? It was a lot of fun to conduct that interview, and I'm sure our audience learned a lot there as well about stealth technology, cloaking, and everything else. So, you know, I appreciate the man taking the time for us to teach us something there.
Yeah. You know, there's always interesting information provided by everybody that you meet. I'm just going to leave it at that.
So what do you got for us in the news tonight, my friend?
So there's a bit of a story about this one. So I'm trolling the news articles, as I do,
right,
to provide the most up-to-the-minute WTF news for Spaced Out Radio. And I came across an interesting story about an Amazon warehouse that had to be evacuated because one of the robots, because you know they have robots in the Amazon warehouses, right, that move around the stuff. One of them had driven over a bear repellent can, and the stuff that's in bear repellent is really nasty.
Yes,
and it flooded the area, and it's like tear gas, and everybody had to be evacuated. So I'm reading this story. I'm like, wow, that's not good. Maybe they should be a little bit better with their robots running over bear repellent cans. And then at the very end of the article, there was a link, and it said, but this was not the first time. Click here to read more. So I present to you a truly WTF story with some amazing implications. And mind you, I found this.
You're building this up very nicely, by the way.
Yes. I found this after reading a story about one of the Amazon robots running over a can of bear repellent. Here we go.
Okay.
Now you know that this has just happened. So this is a follow-on story. This wasn't even Amazon's first bear repellent accident. 24 Amazon warehouse employees in New Jersey were hospitalized Wednesday, one in critical condition after a robot punctured a can of bear repellent, according to local reports. The news was soon picked up by national outlets and spread on social media, in part because it's a perfect horror story for the end of the year of our Lord 2018. In total, 54 workers from Robbinsville, New Jersey facility were exposed to fumes. Bear repellent is made with capsaicin, a chili pepper extract. Many of the workers experienced trouble breathing and said their throats and eyes burned. All the injured workers were expected to be released from hospitals soon. If they hadn't been largely, according to Rachel Lightley, a spokesperson for Amazon. The safety of our employees is always our top priority, she said in a statement. The OSHA says it is conducting an investigation into the incident. Wednesday's mishap demonstrates the many hazards that workers must contend with in Amazon's sprawling warehouses, where almost every product imaginable may be in stock, including aerosol cans of irritating spray for warding off bears. And this is from Wired, by the way. This particular accident comes with an added dystopian layer, since it was caused by one of the robots Amazon hopes will replace many of its human warehouse workers in the near future. But things get much stranger when you realize this isn't the first time a can of bear repellent has exploded in an Amazon facility. In 2015, the fire department responded to an accident at an Amazon facility in Hazlet, Texas, that was caused by a robot running over a can of none other than bear repellent. According to public records unearthed by Jessica Bruder for her book Nomadland, which chronicles the lives of the retail giant's older transient workforce. By the way, I've read it. Amazing. It's very weird. They have like RV towns that like move from facility to facility. They do it with airline workers do it too.
Well, I can tell you this. Have you ever been hit by pepper spray, which is what bear repellent is?
No.
I accidentally, back in 2011, I accidentally gassed my family and myself because we were out on Vancouver Island. We were up near Tofino, and we were geocaching. And we come across this trail that there was a big black bear seen on the trail within an hour of us being there. So we're still city folk at that time. So the one thing we learned about our geocaching adventures when we went in the forest is bring some pepper spray, bear repellent.
Right,
well,
I have a can.
Facing the ocean, I'd never used it before, so I figured, well, I better test this out because I've never fired it. Yeah. It's like pissing into the wind, man. It wasn't a good outcome. All of a sudden, there we are, all four of us, and we have pepper spray all coming back at us through the wind. It was my Darwin moment, my friend. My Darwin moment.
That's bad. But hold on. This gets weird. The New Jersey incident wasn't even the first bear repellent accident at an Amazon facility in 2018. One employee at an Amazon warehouse in Indiana told Wired that a can ruptured in his facility earlier this year. The worker says the accident was caused by someone dropping the can, and they believe no injuries occurred. They think the way the product is packaged may be the issue. The employee adds that they, too, have dropped the repellent, though in their case it didn't rupture. It's a clamshell that pops open when you pick it up. The employee says, what can I say? What I can say is their safety people are on it, blah, blah, blah. Lately, the Amazon spokesperson confirmed in an email that an incident involving the bear repellent did occur at the Indiana facility earlier this year. She also confirmed the 2015 accident in Texas. However, she added, I don't have an exact information on the root cause of either scenario, only that they were different. It's not only bear spray that can cause issues in Amazon. The mishap this week in New Jersey affected a particularly large number of people, but bizarre and tragic accidents happen in the company's facilities on a regular basis, some more serious than others. In November, 2 Amazon contractors were killed when a wall inside a distribution center in Baltimore collapsed during a bad storm. 7 months earlier, 2 people suffered minor injuries at a facility in Ohio after a tornado ripped open a 100-foot hole in the roof. In September 2017, an employee at Amazon warehouse, Pennsylvania, was run over by a truck. Accidents happen often at Amazon in part because it's one of the largest employers in the U.S. Fatal occupational injuries have been on the rise across the country, according to labor statistics. Amazon does employ on-site medical contractors, at least at some facilities, according to another employee who works in the Amazon warehouse on the East Coast. They're equipped to provide basic medical care in case of minor illness or injuries. The workers said a handful of medical staff are on each shift. Some experts say, however, that Amazon is a particularly dangerous place to work for other reasons. The National Council on Occupational Safety and Health, a labor advocacy group, announced in August that Amazon topped its annual Dirty Dozen list, highlighting companies that it believes put workers especially at risk because of unsafe labor practices. The organization counted 7 deaths have occurred at U.S. Amazon facilities since 2013, including 3 at separate locations in the span of 5 weeks in 2017. 2 Baltimore contractors who died in November would bring in the number up to 9. When the Koch report was released, Amazon spokesman told Business Insider in part that while any serious incident is one too many, we learn and improve our programs working to prevent future accidents. In the United Kingdom, ambulances are called more than 600 times to Amazon facilities in the past 3 years, according to Freedom of Information requests filed by the trade union GMP. A July report from The Guardian found some of Amazon workers have suffered injuries that left them unable to work and in some cases homeless. The Robbinsville facility where Wednesday's bear repellent accident happened has drawn scrutiny for other workplace safety issues. And it just goes on and on and on. But one of the things that it points out is that the use of the robots, that the robots are running over things, the robots run into people, the robots run over cans of bear repellent.
Yeah, that ain't good. That ain't good.
I think the robots, I think the robots are out to get us.
We got to move on to the next story, man. We only got time for maybe one more.
I just thought you'd find that interesting because it was about robots hunting down people. Now, on the lighter side.
Yeah. Tell me you got something from Florida.
Grinch has sex in bathroom, wrecks Christmas decorations. A man accused of destroying Christmas decorations after his sister asked him to speed up his romantic rendezvous with his girlfriend was arrested on several charges, an affidavit states. Port St. Louis police on December 4th went to a reported domestic disturbance and spoke to the woman identified as Zachary Crandall's sister. The sister, she went to the bathroom she shares with her brother, but discovered him in it having sex with his girlfriend. She said she asked him a bunch of times to hurry up, but he refused. She texted her mother for help. After Crandall got out of the bathroom with his girlfriend left, Crandall confronted his sister, the report states. During Zachary's outrage, he began destroying the Christmas decorations in the living room before throwing a diaper box in his sister's direction, the affidavit states. The sister said the box hit her son in the head. Police said Crandall refused to secure the dogs in another room, making it not safe for officers to enter. Crandall was eventually captured after retreating out the back door. Crandall of Port St. Lucie was arrested on charges including battery, obstruction of justice, criminal mischief, simple assault on law enforcement, and resisting officer without violence. So that's what happens when you interrupt your brother having sex in the bathroom in Florida. He destroys all of your Christmas decorations and tries to throw diapers at your head.
Terrible.
Robots out to get you. People starting fights after having sex in the bathroom. I'd say it's a pretty good night.
That is a pretty good night as we go to the thought of the Dave. Wow.
It was a big night for you.
That's a good night. Thank you for doing that. Thought of the Dave happens every night at this time, where we ask a question on our Facebook and Twitter pages, then read your responses on the air, because we absolutely love the audience participation around these parts. Today's Thought of the Dave is as follows. What's the weirdest thing you've witnessed a UFO do? We got some interesting answers tonight, my friends. Let's go to Graham right off the bat. He goes, do I truly have to answer that, Dave, my friend? They decloak. They have a cloaking tech. We can only imagine that science and technology level, my friend. Joe says, be totally silent and invisible. I didn't see it, I didn't hear it, and I never knew it was there. This happens to me every single day. Dominic. Oh, that's about Super Dave. By the way, we do have to pass on. What a weird day, Olaf. Super Dave Osborne, Mean Gene Okerlund, and the Captain from Captain and Tennille, all dying today, all at the age of 76.
I was really busted up about Mean Gene Okerlund and Super Dave.
I know, me too.
That was a big Super Dave thing.
I can tell you right now, Rich Giordano is probably, going through all the Hulk Hogan and Randy Macho Man Savage clips, where they're sitting there, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. That's kind of what they're getting into right now. Let's get back to the thought of the Dave, though. Rob on Twitter. Disappear. Driving on the Florida Turnpike, thought a small white blimp 200 feet away, 100 feet off the ground, went around a bend, poof, gone. I was heading towards it. Very, very strange. Let's go over to Facebook here, shall we? Steve.
I saw one make a square.
Did you?
Fly
that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. Steven, how come they're never in focus? William, unknown, never seen a UFO. So I responded, you need to look up more, bro. Gabe, I witnessed one egging on the military, and the military was chasing it. That would have been cool to see.
Totally.
David, thought I was watching a falling star, but this star had a different light to it, was a different brightness and falling in a jerking motion. Stopped next to a star, then fell on a 45-degree angle at breakneck speed behind a tree line. Saw this twice. Also saw one sitting in daylight as I was checking out an airliner during the day. Was sitting in front of the airliner, and as the plane approached it, lifted up so the plane could pass, then drop back down again. Wow.
Wow. Whoa.
That's a good one.
Wow.
That's a fun one.
That's a good one.
Brandy, tipped towards me in my window, like it heard me talking to it. Marianne, my sister saw one going down the street looking in windows. I think that might be a prowler. Aldo, I saw what I thought was a UFO back in 87. It was bright white, then split into three separate lights. One was bluish, one was reddish, and one stayed white. They flew slowly across the sky. Then fighter pilots showed up and tailed them until they disappeared off in the distance. Not sure what I actually saw. Chris George Zuger, I saw one doing figure eights for about 45 minutes. I've actually seen a figure eight one. That's kind of cool. Kelly, I've never actually seen one. Every time I thought I have, once I stared at it, I realized it was a bird or a plane or Superman. Byron, just seeing them up close is really strange. I have seen two of them just vanish without moving away. Sarah, I've seen them hovering 1 minute, then in an instant be gone, leaving a light tracer out of the atmosphere. And I've seen them change their brightness back and forth from light to dim and back and forth. Lots of traffic in our sky. That is for sure. Russ. Oh, I'm not saying that one. That's a bad one. JJ. A white dot zigzag across the night sky 5 times and then just take straight off and gone. Bobby. Seen many things, but this one stands out. After seeing a luminescent mushroom growing under my stairs leading to my front door was a full-size elemental or ferryman sitting on my bed with eyes that wrapped around his head. Seen so many other dimensions we don't know about. It's probably where we're going to have to cut it off right there, my friend. Tell everybody where we can find Paranoia Magazine.
ParanoiaMagazine.com, Paranoia Magazine on Facebook, Paranoia Mag on Twitter, Paranoia Mags on Instagram. Listen to the podcast. It's rad.
Greetings and salutations, my friend. Greetings and salutations. Yeah. And, of course, you can find all of your news. Go to spacedoutradio.com. Click on the news tab. And Captain Shirk has it locked and loaded for you right there, also on our Facebook page, SOR Newswire. We say thank you to Mike Brown for coming on with that interesting video and take he had on his UFO research. You can find this one in the archives. You're definitely going to want to hear it again. YouTube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Tomorrow night on the show, United Kingdom paranormal researcher Richard Case joins us. We're talking all things spooky tomorrow night, 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern at spacedoutradio.com. We got Mr. Ron Bumblefoot THAL rocking in the background with Little Brother Is Watching. Bumblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. Special thank you to all of you in the chat rooms, sitting at home, in your car, at work, wherever you may be. Everyone on Twitter at #SpacedOutRadio. Thanks for an amazing night. Thanks for tuning us in. Because together, my friends, we own the night. I will talk to you in 21 hours from now. Mr. Bumblefoot, we need a favor. We need you to take us home. Good night.
We're watching. We watch you fall so